Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I am Dylan.
And I'm Vinny.
It was kind of an odd week in the market. We're going to take a look at some specific things that happened, some big things that are about to happen, and some big dates that can sway some stuff. And if you are in Meta or Nvidia, good for you. Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. All right. Ooh, wrong thing. There you go.
Yeah.
Meta went wild. Okay. They had like 3 different things happen all around the same time. MetaQuest went, they dropped it. It's still pretty high, but it's not unreasonably high for what it is. They dropped $500 on the Quest Pro. Barclays and Morgan Stanley both said the word Meta and AI.
Yeah. It's big money. It printed money.
Yeah, pretty much. If you just say the word AI next to a stock, it works, which we're going to take a look at the analysis in this. And also the next slide, same thing. You just say the word AI and Nvidia, and it went up 5% or whatever it was.
I love it. In fairness, both of these companies have been well ahead of this, and they're kind of like more forerunners in AI. One from the actual hardware, one from the software. They've both been aggressively betting on AI for a while.
I want to be clear here. I want to own both of them, just not at this price. It's too much. It's just, it's kind of wild. Barclays, Investor Business Daily, Barron's, mass majority of YouTube, and Jim Cramer are all pretty much saying that this is now a bull market after what just happened on Thursday and Friday. We'll take a look, though.
Okay.
But the biggest thing, March 21st and 22nd, we have a rate hike. Now, everyone was thinking that this last one was going to be either 0.25, maybe nothing, probably 0.25. If we get a 0.5 here, this could be very glorious for Dylan. If we don't, I'm closing some of my short positions. 100%.
All right. Well, we've been talking about that the last couple of meetings, unfortunately, whether 0.5 or 0.25. I think currently, right now, options are pricing out a 0.25 hike for the next 3 meetings, and then steady through the end of the year. Is the current options like implied kind of rates?
Right. I mean, it can definitely happen. Don't get me wrong. Here's the cues. Here's NASDAQ, okay? We're going to do this in the SPY, and then we're looking at some other tricky things. So we have the 200 moving average. We tested it. We came back. We went down for another test, and not good sign. This is pretty much like just unabated buying. There was no battle whatsoever. It was just straight up, okay?
Okay.
We're still under 300. You don't really want to see this retest highs. I would kind of prefer, it would be a lot safer if this didn't get above 300 if you're short. All right?
Oh,
because if it goes above 300, this is just chop city. There's no reliable levels, and there's no reason why it couldn't go higher for those of you that are thinking that this is a long run. I'm not going to argue with you right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to defend at this point in time for sure. It's kind of the impression I have.
Same thing, SPY. We hit the 200. We, once again, just nonstop buying, hardcore. We even gapped up and finished all the way up. So, this is for the SPY. There's more defined levels between 407, 410. You do not, if you're short, you do not want it to go above this. Bad boy zone. If you're long, it goes above this. Congrats, you took some of my money. Good job.
I mean, well, we've already seen a retest now off the 200. Does that mean the 200 is now officially a level of support?
So it depends, right? When it goes down for a retest and then it goes up, as long as it doesn't go up as high and then it goes back down for a retest, you have a lower low or a lower high. So you're making the humps. I wish I could draw. That'd be easier.
No.
But
I get
that makes
what
sense.
you're saying there. I can visualize that. All right. So you would need it to reconfirm by taking out previous high in order to confirm that this is indeed a continuation of an upward trend, and 200 level is a confirmed support level, 200 moving average.
Not so much a high, but if it goes above 410.
Okay.
Because that was a zone that they were having, the market was having a tough time getting above. They shot above it, chopped, and fell. If it goes above that again, I'm dipping.
All
It's
right.
just it's not worth it. I'd rather take my losses.
I like it.
Now,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah,
It's a ticker symbol that you made some good money on, and it's kind of reappearing on the channel for the first time in a little while.
this is my most successful trade. Actually, this is like I have like 270% returns on options for these. So essentially, we finally dipped below 100. We hadn't done that since end of December, and we immediately shot back up. This was also a big reason why the whole market was up as a whole. Now, this is the 20-year. It doesn't matter what year you look at. It's a very similar chart. They're not the same, but they're very, very similar. And then this happened. Okay, VIX. There's no fear. All right. If I go out here, it's just a steady fall. We're testing this kind of $16. Now it depends what vehicle you use for the VIX. If I trade it, I use UVXY. The numbers are completely different. But we're coming back. You could see we had this butt here. We stopped. We're definitely chopping around this range. If we go below 16, I would expect some massive drops, to be honest with you, because that's
Okay.
just people showing no fear.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, it certainly hasn't been. How do I put this? The market's been very volatile, right? We had one of the most volatile years on record last year, and you still have the Fed selling, $100 billion in assets a quarter. So volatility should still remain high. So yeah, I kind of get the, kind of long volatility trade. It's an interesting idea that I hadn't considered until you brought it up right now.
It is. I would need it to drop a little bit more. I've done some. The problem is a lot of the vehicles for trading volatility, they lose very, very quickly just because they're leveraged. So they just lose value inherently. But Meta broke out of this channel. They had all that solid, crazy news. They didn't set a high, but Nvidia did by like 10 cents. They actually set a new high
Wow,
on quite low volume.
interesting. I don't make of that. The last time they had up at this level, that was a pretty big volume bar, but that was right after earnings too, so that kind of makes sense.
It's right after earnings, so I am hoping this is what we call a bull trap. Not for Meta. Meta has a lot of positive catalysts, does not fit. But the market as a whole, I'm hoping we're looking at a bull trap scenario. But like I said, if you're short, I will be leaving. I will either be rolling my position to longer if we drop from 410 or leaving if we go above 410. That's super important, just so people are aware.
Nice.
Yep.
Very interesting. I have to revisit my valuation on Meta and see if it's worth buying more right now. I own a little bit, but I'd like to own more of it.
I would like to own a absolute fuck ton of Nvidia and Meta, just not at these prices.
I love it. All
All
right.
right.
Catch you guys in the next one.